Welcome to my personal workshop today with the all-new Mercedes SL. Well, I'm just kidding. I would like to own such a workshop, yes, but it's a great setting here for the all-new SL generation. And this time, AMG took over. They are now the responsible force behind this model. So this one is officially the Mercedes-AMG SL. Is that a right decision? We will find out today here with Thomas and Autogefühl. Let's start with the SL55. This is already a V8 model, and in the front we can see very strong AMG styling, Panamericana grille. That means it has this A-form and the vertical fins right here. And it's also a very characteristic thing that they kind of cut in the hood right here. So the whole hood is basically on the inside and there's always an outside part staying. The headlamps come standard with the so-called digital light. This is working with micro mirrors, so you can really adjust also the high beam functions, the most elaborated light that Mercedes has to offer. In the length now 4.70 meters or 155 inches, so it has grown a little bit in length if you consider the predecessor version. 21-inch wheels we have here, 19-inch would be standard, then you can go to 20-inch, would be standard for the 63 model, and here then 21-inch, already a massive styling, and also this V8 bi-turbo badge here at the side. And what is that? 4MATIC? For an SL? What? Yes, the first time all-wheel drive in the Mercedes SL, that you can also get the whole power to the ground. Soon more to the engines. We have the open setup here at the moment, very straight design line right here. The SL has always been about simple design lines. That's what's also making it quite timeless, you know. Then very slim and horizontal drawn tail lamps. We'll also soon have a different color for you. And look at that, I mean, this three-quarter view here with a rather round shape. So the SL has become rounder, kind of like full circle. So the SL started as a pure sports car back in the days, like 70 years ago, and had also a rounder shape. Then it became more like this rectangular design. You can also check out the Mercedes SL Generations video here on Autogefühl. And now it has come back to being a sports car and also having a round shape. This one will be an integrated wing, by the way, and it can be adjusted in 6 different angles. It automatically does that depending on the speed. And talking about automatically, this one now comes with a full set of new technologies. For example, also rear axle steering. Up to 2.5 degrees, the rear wheels go in the opposite direction than the front wheels, and up to a speed of 100 kilometers or 60 miles an hour. That is kind of unique in the whole industry. So really high speed, you can still turn the rear wheels in the opposite direction than the front wheels, making the whole ride even more agile. The standard suspension is already adjustable. If you pick the driving modes, adaptive suspension. This one here is the SL63. And that one then comes also with an anti-roll control with a special AMG active suspension, so it stays more upright in the corners while having a fancier ride, so to speak. Here we also have black wheels, but you can also adjust that. The styling SL55 and 63 is not that different from the outside. It's more about, the engine difference and of course which styling deals you pick. Here we also have carbon fiber side mirror caps, for example. And then on the engine, this is the main difference, but take a look at the front first. Here we also have carbon fiber accentuations. Once again, the aggressive front grille. And of course a different color, but that's not about 55 or the 63. You can of course pick even more different colors. Oh, and here for the exhaust tips, they look of course pretty spectacular, but on the inside then, Autogefühl fake exhaust police alert. Yes, sorry Mercedes, or sorry AMG I have to say. Yeah, nothing can hide from the Autogefühl fake exhaust police, never. That 4-liter V8 bi-turbo comes either with 476 horsepower in the SL55 or here in the SL63 with 585 horsepower. The acceleration difference is then 3.9 versus 3.6 seconds. It will be even faster in the electrified version. There will be a plug-in hybrid drivetrain available at a later stage, just unlike recently revealed with the AMG GT. And we also expect an entry-level inline 6-cylinder then to be a little bit cheaper. This, of course, almost already the top level. In Germany, maybe people will go for the PHEV version because that will also give some tax benefits, which is kind of like an unlogical thing for a car that's, like 150k plus or something, yeah, but that's how it is. And I said all-wheel drive, but still with a rear-wheel bias. Here also the one-man, one-engine concept. So this engine is still then handcrafted then in Affalterbach in Germany. Launch control, the race start so-called, is available for both models. Why is it possible? It has the 9-speed MCT multi-clutch technology then, and it is not possible for the converter automatic gearbox by Mercedes, but when you have the dual clutch transmission, then it's actually possible to use the launch control. Top speed will be here in the 63 model at 315 kilometers an hour, so almost 200 miles per hour. That's 20 kilometers more than with the 55 model, but yeah, not such a big difference. Differentiation also here with the 63 model, this one here gets a rear differential lock. And what's also interesting, this chassis here is really unique and absolutely new. No piece taken over from the predecessor, nor from the AMG GT Roadster. And that's of course very expensive to produce, so why are they doing that? Well, first of all, AMG took over this job, and the SL is one of the most iconic cars at Mercedes, so they want to make it special. And at the same time, it kind of replaces both the AMG GT Roadster and also the S-Class Coupe, because both of them will actually go away from the model lineup. So this actually kind of hefty task then here for the new SL. So what about one of the most important things? The roof. Yeah, actually, it is now a soft top. That's also back to the roots again. And I think that's a good decision because it saves weight, about 20 kilograms. And you can also open it up to a speed of 50 kilometers an hour. Takes about 15 seconds. And to me, that's more practical than having the hard top. One more time, back again. So, I mean, there are always situations where maybe it begins to rain or something. And of course, there will be more trunk left. Soon more to that. So what about a decision for you? Do you think it's better to have a soft top? I think definitely yes, but put your opinion in the comments, please. And now that the roof is closed right here, you can see it is very well integrated, and 3 layers, by the way, so it's still silent on the inside. So to me, indeed, just has advantages and also is really good for the look. And you can see there's also, let's say, like an S-Class design language in that one, because this bow, and that also ends here exactly at the, at the middle part of the wheel. This is kind of like S-Class design language. So indeed, yeah, it replaces the SL, the AMG Roadster, and also the S-Class Cabriolet. So yeah, if you're one of the pre-existing customers from one of these 3 models, what do you think about it? And here, also the 63 model in red, once again with the closed roof. Well, sometimes they look better with the closed roof, sometimes with the open roof. Tell me what you think. This is the car key, quite fancy. And do you remember the Mercedes EQS episode where we had a special here on these door handles? Because here, you see, they're integrated, better for wind efficiency. When you open them, here they come towards you. And they claim it's better for wind efficiency. It is actually, but then I did some research and the result was it doesn't have a big effect. So it's more about design and, like showing off functionality. And indeed, it's a thing that is annoying you constantly when you own this vehicle. So it's better to have classical ones, but here they are actually standard. To me, I think hit and miss definitely with this technology piece. Inside of the doors with contrast stitches here and everything wrapped tightly. Nice integration of the ambient lighting right here. And then these seat controls here, they are from the C-Class or S-Class taken over, and you cannot move them anymore, and that's also a step backwards. So they do react, of course, they do change the seat, but you don't get any haptic feedback anymore. And also these, capacitive curves, #capacitive curves, one button serves it all. Here for seat heating, seat cooling, and you see how it's one button. How can it be in a 150k car? I don't understand. However, what is really cool and fancy, I love these turbine wheels here, retro design, and also with illumination on the inside. Then you have the sporty AMG steering wheel, because this is automatically always an AMG. Flat bottom, two-fin design, but once again, #capacitive curves with the buttons here. It looks clean and cool, but it's harder to control than before. Then you have digital instruments as standard, zoom more details to that, 12.3 inch, and on the right side is the vertical screen we also know from the S-Class or the C-Class, also zoom more details to that. And it can even be flipped, kind of like, it's really very interesting. Seats here, these are the standard sport seats. They come also at the moment as standard with animal skin, which is not living up to the sustainable luxury claim that Mercedes has. They promise, however, they will deliver something else also in the future. Let's see about the comfort, because we also have the other seats as comparison very soon. Then let's get inside. And you sit low, and it definitely feels really sporty. So indeed, you rather feel it's an AMG than, you know, you would think about, oh, you know, that's a comfortable Mercedes SL or something. So you see this whole shift back to being a sports car. So you, yeah, headroom-wise, no problem. I mean, it's 86 or 601. That's why I left the roof closed here at the moment. But it's still, you know, decently comfortable. In the driving review coming up at a later stage, stay subscribed if you want to see that one as well. Then we'll also tell you all about the long-term comfort of this vehicle and of course also the performance. But so far, it's really more saying like, don't cruise me, race me. To show you more about the most special thing about this, Jonas was nodding with the camera. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's how we have fun when filming, you know, yeah, everyone has to have their jokes. So to show you the most special thing about this new interior, let's open the top again, and there are 3 ways to do that. I'll start with the best one, with the key. Hold the opening button or hold the closing button. This will be the most convenient thing, because there are worse ways to come. Here you have this, you know, one button capacitive curse thing that you press this button, and the second best way would be press it and then press and hold it again. Then it's supposed also to open and close again. The way that's the most obvious one, but it's the worst one, is here. You click this button, and then you come here to this menu, and it's like, really? I mean, are they seriously putting the convertible opening on a touch screen, and you have to slide and hold your finger and tape it while having that, you know, like, is that serious? Yeah, it opened now, but when I own this vehicle, it's very certain I will never ever use this function in that way. The key will be my best friend. This is your driver's cockpit. Here you have the drive mode selector, and this is a very practical thing to have instead of doing something in the middle console. On the left side, you can actually change then what you want to change here, like suspension or exhaust note and so on. And yeah, most of the time you probably will not use it, because when you use the Sport Plus mode, then the exhaust note will also go a little bit, you know, more present. Then the capacitive buttons here on the steering wheel, this for cruise control, this here to change something in the digital instruments, and on the right side then to change something in the main infotainment screen, and this then here for the volume. Here we go. And well, what about the digital instruments? They have a special new form, more like a driver-focused form, and you also have different gauges. Here, red sports gauge, yeah, that looks fancy, or a more classic gauge, like this, or even understated, like this, or what about the full GPS screen, like this, all over the place. One we have there, track pace. So the SL63 will also have a special race driving mode, by the way. But so far, this looks all very crystal clear. Here in that interior, by the way, really nice Dynamica split also here for space and 2 USB-C chargers. In the front then you have the cup holders, 2 more USB-C chargers, inductive charging pad for your phone, because Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is wireless or with a cable you could pick. And this is the CarPlay integration right here. Both vehicles are equipped with the Burmester sound system, but this one here has an additional speaker in the rear, and there we clearly hear that we have a more 3-dimensional sound experience, so that will make a difference definitely. Other than that, we have the main menu by Mercedes right here. This MBUX we know from the S-Class and the C-Class. And a unique all-new feature here for Mercedes, because this one has the open top. Here, there's a button for the display angle, and then you can actually change the display angle right here. So to protect it against glare, and that way also it's closer to the fingers when you're driving, like this. So it might be a good thing. So interesting new innovation here. And you see here the temperature unit is always in the lower part, and yeah, in that way you can easier access also the temperature unit. You can also say, you know, like hey Mercedes, and set temperature to 22 degrees. That will also work, and depending also on the web connection, that even got activated by that. So yeah, and let's fold back again. See, yeah, here we go. Oh, it's obviously so. Okay, yeah. So you only need to press the button, so don't have to go in the screen. So that's also Homer Simpson style, right? Display in, display out, display in, display out. So, and then let's check out the GPS like this. Also quite responsive, so that's fine. And of course, the most important thing here for me would be, hey Mercedes. Hey Mercedes. Let's just use the button. Open the sunroof.
Sorry, this vehicle doesn't have a sunroof.
Does it? Some might remember it from the R129. It's the return of the 2+2 seater or of the rear bench. And in this case, you can actually sit there. You're allowed to, but yeah, it's maximum of 150 in meters. So it's rather for children or to put bags in there. But of course, way more practical than having nothing back there like in the predecessor. You can also here have this automatic sliding function, but I don't even have to try to sit there because nor from the headroom nor from the legroom it would work in any way. It also, you know, on purpose has ISOFIX. You can install 2 child seats here. So yeah, the ideal car for a young, small family indeed. And well, this is here then this setup with the brown animal skin, but here we also have the performance seats, AMG performance seats. These are an option or come standard with the 63 model. And they have the Dynamica microfiber on the inside, outside still animal skin, totally unnecessary, but at the moment it's as good as it gets. These here are a little bit slimmer and also stiffer, have more side bolstering. We'll see how it turns out with comfort. And also the back seats then here, they have the very same setup. Oh, and have you seen the steering wheel? Here in the 63 model on the interior, you also have the Dynamica microfiber at the sides. The seat itself is stiffer and slimmer. That might reduce comfort. Then at the same time, you have the microfiber surface. You don't slide on it that much, and it also stays a little bit cooler in summertime, for example. So it will depend on your individual body which one is better. So the first seating impression is that the base seat has better comfort. It's sometimes also very thin in long-term driving. Maybe we have the chance in the driving route to test both actually for a longer time and then tell you a final verdict. The new SL will come with the air scarf as standard feature. That's the neck heater. You can see here, the air is being sucked in here and then blown out right here, and it's also warm. So that might be a nice feature then for these, let's say, transition days, like in spring and autumn, for example, when it's not that cold but not that hot. So I usually don't use it because in winter times I have like big jacket on, and summer times it's hot enough, but some really love it. What about you? This car is so full of fancy tech, but this one here, the mechanical piece, will be still one of the most important ones you can get, because this one here is the classic wind deflector, and it will keep so much wind out of this vehicle while driving. So to me, one of the best things, because the back seats are, yeah, you know, more or less just storage, and then to have this one here will be the best thing to have to reduce the wind in the car. Now let's check out the trunk. Here we go, electric opening and a really high loading sill in this case. And yes, even this one is measured in length here at Autogefühl. So yeah, this one right here, this is like 80 centimeters or about 30 inches, like here. A little bit longer right here. This is then more, you know, like a meter or 40 inches. And the height here, this overall height, about 38 centimeters or 14 inches. This piece here can be put in when the roof is closed. Then you have a little bit more in height here. When the roof is opened, then it's just limited like this, and you have to keep it like this. So what about the cabin trolley in here? Let's imagine the roof is open. Can I put it in? Okay, some Tetris game is on like this, so a cabin trolley fits in like this even when the roof is opened. And this might appear small to you, but when you are, you know, an owner of an R231 or a 230, this one is actually a luxury trunk, you know. So the soft top definitely enlarges the trunk area. That's the most important thing. So far, the Mercedes SL was the comfortable cruiser, the elegant roadster, or the elegant, you know, icon. But now, as AMG took it over, will it be really the sports car, not the elegant cruiser anymore? Was it a wise decision that AMG took it over? Looking forward to your comments. And of course, well, at the end of the day, we will only find out more about this question if it was right or wrong when we can drive the vehicle, which is to come very soon. So far, compare the BMW Z4 and of course tune in to our Mercedes SL Generations episode. See you there.